Ho, ho, ho! Welcome to day 7 of our B2B Christmas calendar. Today, we're going to be doing something which a lot of people keep asking me how we do exactly, which is to make viral LinkedIn posts. We will go through how to use the assets that we have already built throughout this Christmas calendar and put them onto LinkedIn with a specific type of post structure to get a lot of virality and to get a lot of leads that end up becoming clients. So in this video, I will walk you through how to think of it and how we do it. And then Harold will step into this video and give you access to a completely free software that you get to use from now on and forever, which will generate the posts for you. So let's get into it. To make something go viral on LinkedIn, then we first need to understand how LinkedIn as a platform work and how the algorithm work. So for that reason, I have this illustration in front of you. You might be wondering, why have I put a library in here? Well, the best definition of LinkedIn that I've ever heard is that LinkedIn is like a library. People are there to read, to learn, to consume. They're not there to receive pitches. However, most people on LinkedIn will still completely ignore this and they will just go straight at people with different sorts of pitches. With that being said, that can still work. We talked about that during Outbound in one of the previous days here. And you can do so, but you don't get any algorithmic benefits when you pitch people. So the way that we share these assets that we've built previously in the Christmas calendar with people on LinkedIn to get a lot of leads is through what I call a Trojan horse strategy. So the way that we do it is that we take this asset which solves a specific problem for the audience, and then we find a way to package it as a book, a resource, something to consume, something to learn from, something to steal. So if we can position it like that for LinkedIn, then people will want to read it. They will want to consume it. So then all of a sudden we have the algorithm playing on our team. So that's how we want to approach things when it comes to LinkedIn. So when we talk about how these types of posts then would look like, they're typically structured in this way. You have a hook, you have a how, and you have a CTA. What I mean by this is that you need some sort of hook that describes to a caveman. You need to think of the caveman test here. What is the person going to get, and what is the mechanism for it? You need to get those two things across immediately. And then after you've gotten the hook in, you have, by the way, two different sorts of hooks. You have the two first lines, which are what is visible for people when they're scrolling. And you also have just the first section before you get into how this thing actually works. You oftentimes don't need a very long hook. Sometimes it's beneficial. So you have the hook, and then the how is exactly how does this process work? So what are they getting? How are they going to receive the result with the unique mechanism that you described? And then in the end, you have a CTA, a call to action. So just a way to receive this, which is typically when we want to play the algorithm like we're doing with this type of process to comment a specific keyword on a LinkedIn post. So I will show you a couple of examples of posts which I have done, which have encompassed these things very, very well. So if we go back here and we look at the hook, the how, and the CTA, I think this is big enough for you to see. Or let me just be completely certain. So we do like this. So first, looking at the hook, here you can see, make ChatGPT your closing assistant in 10 minutes. Yesterday, I made the craziest prompt ever. If you only see those two lines, what do you think? You're thinking closing assistant, more sales, ChatGPT, 10 minutes? That's what the caveman will think when they go through this. So the idea here is that people will just think, oh, okay, I'll close more deals and it takes me 10 minutes and it's ChatGPT. Okay, interesting. Then you have people click. Then you can see this post is a longer hook because here I've done like what I call a story hook as well by actually describing what got me to create this. You don't necessarily need to add this. This often adds complexity, but oftentimes the best posts that you will see on LinkedIn will have this. And then you can see the how. The how starts here. This is how it works in practicality. I know my English is pretty bad as well, but it doesn't matter because you can spot that this is human written, not AI. So, step one, before your call, open a new chat, copy the prompt and input who you're going to talk to. Two, the assistant does all research on the prospect and crafts a tailored sales script and process with things to say, ask for, what triggers to look for to move along in the call, and much more. Step three, I then use it for how the call develops, also sharing the live transcript with it from Fireflies to get further input on where to drive it. You can see this is just a process of how this prompt works, like so how people can use it. So this basically just makes people visualize what they're going to get, which is super important because if not, then it's just some promise. And right now, if I were to make a LinkedIn post where I just promise people a ton of leads through this new strategy that I've made, I could get that post to go far because I have a lot of people that trust me on LinkedIn already because people are following me. If you don't have a large audience that comments on all posts you have, then you got to display why this thing works so people will actually believe in it and then comment on it, which leads us to the CTA, the call to action. So here you can see you can now build this for your own business. If you want all the prompts to set this up in 10 minutes, comment V2, connect with me if you aren't already. That's it. Like that's how we make these types of posts. There's a lot to it, like in terms of what wording you use and all of these things, but that's what Harold is going to solve for you with Panda posts. So here's another example. If we look at the hook here, the two first lines are these prompts write your lead magnet in 5 minutes, custom prompt chain. Caveman test. Lead magnet, 5 minutes, prompt. So you see, they just have the feeling that, okay, I don't have to do anything. It takes 5 minutes. I get lead magnet, which is something I like. Okay, I'm interested. So thereby people click. And then the rest of it, here you can see I just have a narrative. So there's a million different lead magnets being pushed on LinkedIn. Some people are claiming they spent 100 hours building this. I take pride in building mine in 5 minutes. I'll explain how. Then we get into the how. So then you can see it's a 4-step description. I've made this into a software. Want to use this for your business? Comment, connect with me, and I'll share it. That's it. Then you can add these bonuses if you want to get a repost as well. These are often pretty handy for the algorithm, but they're not necessary in the same way. So that's how you write these types of LinkedIn posts. And that's how you should think of LinkedIn and how we place these types of posts onto the platform and what they do. So now let me bring you the software. Let me bring you the juice. Let me bring you the B2B Santa number 2, Harold.
Ho ho ho! B2B Santa number 2 in this video is here to show you how to use a free tool that we built called Panda Post. So basically what we've done is that we've created a tool to help you create these LinkedIn posts that Lasse now just showed you how to make and went through the strategy, the psychology, the structure, and all of those things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a bit more of the technical things. So the tool that we built that will allow you to more quickly, more easily create these posts by yourself. And this is going to be a free tool from our side, but you will need a API key with OpenRouter, which is a AI LLM platform to just use AI. So that's one thing that I'm going to do. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use LeadChart, which is the tool that we use to run the automation on these posts on LinkedIn so that you can automatically handle people that comment, automatically send your lead magnets to them, and automatically extract those leads out of LinkedIn so that you can run them into your own email systems, your own follow-up, your own retargeting, and add them to your CRM. So we're going to actually go through this process step by step. And what I'm going to do is I'm also going to show you a bit of the system that we have that handles all of those leads and comments that we have on the back end. I'm going to show you how we structure it, but I'm not going to be able to give you the entire blueprint because that's a bit about what we build for companies is that we, with this Christmas calendar, want to give you with a lot of education and valuable content, but we can't really share with you the secrets of the service and the offerings and the proprietary tech that we built in these types of videos. If you want that, there is a chance to book a call with us, which will allow you to have us go more in detail in the strategy for your company. And if you were to hire us, we would build all of this for you. But let's get into it. So Panda Post is a free platform. You can get started, signed up as you want. And once logged in, you will have the option to build your posts. And in here, there is a very, very simple thing. You need to go to settings, and you need to go to API keys. And you need to go to Open Router and get your own API key, create it, and then copy the API key in here and hit update key. The second thing you need to do is that you need to add a company. So you need to add your company in here. So I'm going to do Euro Ventures 2. I'm going to take our homepage, I'm going to add that in and hit save. And we want to scrape our website because that will give the tool more information about our company, what we do, and use that as an anchoring for this. Once that is done, you will be able to have a company overview or a company summary that looks like this. And you can also generate the description, which will give you a description in here when the page is scraped like that. And I'm just going to close it because this is already added. So once you are that far, you can really go ahead. And there are two really important things for this. You have your posts and you have your post styles. Every account will come preloaded with two different styles. It will be a general thought leader type of post, and it will be a viral lead magnet type of post. And since we're talking about viral lead magnet posts on LinkedIn, of course it's a viral lead magnet that you want to use. However, one feature that I want to show you is cloning a style. So cloning your style or cloning someone else's style. And what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you, so you have custom styles and you can clone a style of someone else. So in here, what we're going to do is that we're actually going to clone a style of Lasse. So I'm going to do Lasse style clone demo. And in here, what we want to do is that we want to add 5 different LinkedIn lead magnet posts that Lasse has made so that we can clone his style of posts. So I have his profile open. What I want to do is I want to go to show all and find his posts. So I want to go to posts and I want to find post that is Lasse's and not his own repost. So here we have one. So what I would then do is I would copy all of this. I would go in and I would paste it just like that. Then I would try to find another one. Here you have another one. Just mark that and paste that in. And I would go through and do this until I have at least 5. It's recommended to have 3, but the more you have, the better output you're going to get because there's more data points for Panda posts to find similarity with. Here we have another one. And then I want one more. So let's see if we can find one very, very quickly. Here we go. There we go. So once you've added in those, you can add in as many as you want. You can add in 10, you can add in 15, you can add in 20. You basically go ahead and hit create style. That will create a style based on all of these posts. And that style will be available and shown under my custom styles under post styles. So this might take a while, it might take a minute, it might take less than that, it might take more than it. Just be patient and do not change or close the page. So let us see how long that is going to take. And there we go. Now the custom style was created and we got redirected back to post styles and we can see Lasse style clone demo available here. So in here we can hit view details, which will be the full description and prompt for writing in this type of style. You can edit it and you can go in here and edit the prompt yourself so that you can have what you want to have in there. You can edit it, stuff like that. But now we have it. So the next step is going to post. There are, as you can see, there are several things in here that I've created and stuff like that. The first, you can create folders. So I'm just going to do a folder for demo, and you can drag it and reorder the order of this based on it. You can also rename it, and you can also delete it. So really, it's up to you how you want to do it. If you're inside of a folder, you can generate a post within that folder. And this is where you can set all your settings. You can reuse a previous post, you can set the company that you want to run it for. You can select the post style. So when we did the losses style clone demo, you can add a tone. So for example, in this Christmas calendar with B2B Santa, we want to use the B2B Santa personality, sharing with. And target audience, B2B founders who are expert but not marketers. And you can set out the number of posts. Let's say that I want to generate 3. I want to use different, and I want to use the same model. So here, the big benefit of using Open Router is that you can select what type of LLM you want to use. And you can also see the pricing underneath it. And then you have what you want to post about. So for example, today is day 7 of the Christmas calendar. And one of the things that we then want to do is I actually want to take the text that we have on our day 7 page and create a linked post for that. And post for day 7 of our Christmas calendar. Here is full page info. And I've now just copy pasted the entire text on that page that we have, and that is how it would work. One thing that you can do as well is that if you want to generate more than one alternate or one post, you can decide if you want to use different type of LLM models to generate each of those posts. I want to use the same, and I want to just generate 2. And this will then go ahead and generate a LinkedIn post in the losses style that we copied, with the target audience being B2B founders and using the tone of the B2B Santa personality. We can add more details about the tone if you want to do that, but this embeds and sprinkles in a bit of that Santa humor into this, or a Christmassy theme, and serves the purpose really. So this, again, may take some time because it processes a lot of input, and depending on how long the output is, it might take a while, it might take shorter. And what you will see is that it will open one of the generated posts when it is done, and the other one, since we generated 2, will be visible underneath, but we need to close that pop-up. So while it loads, I'm actually going to open a new page and show you a couple of posts that we have. So here you will see a list of posts that has been generated, and you will be able to see what company it was generated for, the type of post style it generated, and how many tokens it used, the estimated price for it, and when it was generated. So let me actually do this one. So for example, here we have used another loss of lead magnet type of style. And if you click it, you will be able to see everything. So you can see the first line and hook, you can see the full content, you can edit directly in here. And if you scroll all the way down, you can hit save changes, but you can also hit generate again, which will preload all of the default or the settings that you added and information you added in to generate this in the first place. And it will give you the option to just hit generate post again. I just went back, and this can be one of the posts that was generated. So if I go to demo, you can see that there are 2. So stop trying to be a creator. Be a it's the fastest way to burn with 0 revenue to show for it. You have been told to post every day. And here you can see then the post. And this is fairly a good post. It gives you that personality. It costs us 4.5 cents. It's really, really cheap to do, and it clones the voice of Lasse. Again, we can change this, we can tweak this, but this gives you a very, very, very fast way of being able to create those viral LinkedIn posts. And again, what we've seen after posting almost or more than 900 of those type of posts is that you need to test. You need to test what works, because it depends on your profile, what you post about, and the audience that you're able to attract. So testing is the key to making these posts work. You can reorder a folder by clicking the folder. You can reuse the inputs by clicking the reuse. And that's really all there is to Panda Post. Again, a free service from us, but you just need to bring your own OpenAI or Open Router key, which you can get by clicking settings, going to API keys, and clicking that. Now the question is, if you post these posts on LinkedIn, you might get viral like the ones that we have, with 372 comments on one post. And as I can tell you, Loss is not handling sending this manually to all of these people. It is done by using the tool LeadShark. Um, I want to disclose, if you were to sign up with LeadShark, we have an affiliate link, so there is a small kickback to us. But again, if you say that you come from us, so if you mention my name, Harold, to Roskar, which is a founder, he's going to be able to treat you very, very nicely. He's a super nice guy. So inside of LeadShark, you are able to do a couple of things. So you can schedule a post, but what I recommend as well, like, you want to have a visual image or GIF to the post that you post to have it perform the best on LinkedIn. But you are able to schedule things inside of LeadShark. So you can schedule a new post, and in here you can write the post content. So that could, for example, be the post that I just created. Stop being a creator. So I want to add an attachment, and then what I want to do is I want to set when it is to be scheduled for. Inside of here, you can also do what we call pre-automate, which is highly recommended, which will then allow you to pre-automate and set the messages and the things that you want to share. So I just want to take the first sentence of the post as the automation name. Keywords allow you to, when someone comments on your post, LeadShark will filter based on keywords. So if people comment something that is not the keywords that you add in, which is explicitly case sensitive, it will not process them. Personally, I just leave this blank and just have LeadShark send and share the resource and lead magnet with absolutely everyone. The DM template is the first thing you add always in your first name, and thanks for commenting. Here is the resource, and I just replace this. So an example would be, here is the day 7 of our Christmas calendar, and then link. And in this case, it would be this link. What I always end up doing after this is, and I also add a PS, if you want more like this, join my free Telegram channel. And I just add in the link there. That's one way. So like, if you have a community or if you have something else that you want people to join in addition to this, or give them an additional bonus or asset or resource for free as part of just, hey, engaging, you can do that. Another one is you can ask a question, either an A or B or X or Y question. So that could be, in our case, we have clients that struggle with lead generation and lead conversion. And then I would say, would a quick question is generating more leads or converting those you have most important right now? And that's it. So it's an X or Y question, engaging or inviting to a dialogue and discussion on LinkedIn, which will then can bring you to a meeting or a relationship. You can change this up a bit and plenty. We always use the Telegram because we want to bring people into the system that we have to nurture. Now you have comment reply templates, and this is the comment that is sent to everyone that comments on. It's the reply to every comment that is sent on your post. And let me give you an example on my profile. So if I go to my profile and I go to one of my latest posts, here you go. You can see that I have replied to those who commented. So I replied to Lasse, replied to Bill, and that is the comment reply template. So in here, you always want to click the first name mention, and then you want to add different variations. So sending now, sent, check, DM. I typically want to add like 4, 5, 6 different ones of these. Now you have non-connection reply templates. Those are if someone you're not connected with on LinkedIn replies to your post or comment on their posts, it's a reply sent to those comments. Usually, again, I always add the first page mention, and the default you want to add here is we need to be connected for me to send it over. Send me a request. Then you toggle auto connect on. So this ensures that people get to respond that they need to connect with you to be able to get the asset or resource. You can change this to say first name for you to access it. You can go here. And what you then can do is that you can add a link to a page where people can opt in to get it, but we highly recommend not to do that. You only want to do that in the cases where you go so viral that you can send to everyone, and you want to ensure that people get it before LeadShark is able to process and send it to everyone. So that's really it. AutoConnect will allow LeadShark to accept inbound connection requests, and you can also send a follow-up DM, which is a message sent to everyone after a certain amount of time. But personally, I always leave that blank. So that's really it. If you do this, you can schedule different posts. And as you can see, for example, here I have a post that is scheduled on my account. And this is really where I can go about that. So if you want to cancel something, you can just click delete on that and you cancel that scheduled post. So I want to just show you how to remove these. So that's how you would do it. One other thing that is important is within LeadShark is that you have the option to add webhooks. And webhooks are how we send commenter data out of LinkedIn and LeadShark to our own system. So we can show and create a webhook. And in here, we typically use Anecdote. So if you're not familiar with Anecdote, it's basically a tool that allows us to really just run automations. It's the best tool. I've tried plenty, and it's it's a bit of a learning curve in the beginning, but as soon as you understand how it works, it's a fantastic tool. So inside of this, in LeadShark, we can add that webhook from that NXN, and we can then test that. So I can then basically add one of those. Again, I already have webhooks added, so I can't really add any now. But what I can do for you is I can show how it actually sends the data. So let me bring one of those over. So here I have one which is from a working flow that we have. So in this one, we have some data. So we have some header data, that's not the interesting. Body data is the interesting thing. So we have the event, new comment, the timestamp when it happened, the post ID that it happened on, the automation ID within LeadShark, and the name of the automation for that. I have the lead, so the name, first name, the title of the person, the LinkedIn profile URL, their username, if we're connected or not, the ID of the user. We have the comment ID, the comment, when the comment was, and all of that data we can then save. How we process this is that we have the automation which represents the post together with the post ID. We have the lead and we have the comment. So we always have a couple of pages. So for example, we have posts. So we are then able to have a post record or post database with all posts that we posted, with links, all of that. We can also see the number of comments on each and every single post because we attribute them. So once we process the post, which basically is the post ID and the post name, we're able to save that and the link to that post. We will then also have leads, so every single person that commented, and as you can see here, we have 55,305. So in here we have the name, the LinkedIn URL, the status, we have the username, profile URL, if they commented or not, and the number of comments per profile. So here we can then really use this to see if someone is loyal or not, or they really are a loyal follower. And we can then see, okay, basically who has commented the most. So we can then sort by descending and see, okay, who has commented the most of all the leads that we have. And we have Lasse having commented on 638 posts. And we have all of that down below. Here we have a lot of duplicates, but that's one part of a previous version of the system that we didn't have. So we've changed that. But this is all we have. And then we will also have all comments, so we can see all the actual comments commented on the different posts to then be able to track that. So we will have then, through running this, the data on who commented on what posts and when did they comment, so that we can build a data model that allows us to see people engage in this and this time. We can see how many are loyal and how many have commented on so many posts. If someone passes a certain threshold of having commented this amount of times, it is a really good signal for you to really pick up the dialogue with that one individual, or all of those who does that, and that's how you build the system. So really, all of this starts from you having a LinkedIn post for a lead magnet that you have, or some sort of educational resource or a valuable asset that you can share with people, post it on LinkedIn, and you use Panda Post to draft the post, use LeadShark to schedule it and automate it, and you use N8N to take all of that data through LeadShark out and run your own systems. This is far better than spending tons of money on ads or tons of money on signaling tools to figure out who are even just in the category of what you do. It's better to post things out, get people to come to you, see who engage, and let them tell you if they're interested in what you have or not. That's at least one way to bootstrap and build a company. So with this, if this was interesting, we actually do full builds and build all of the system for companies, help them create the lead magnets, help you create the post, help you create the visuals, set up N8N, set up LeadShark, set up the backend to nurture and build a relationship with all of these leads. And if that is interesting, there's a button down below on this page, or a calendar down below this video, where you can schedule a personal walkthrough and strategy call with us to have us lay out the strategy for how this type of system could work for your company to help you get a higher lead flow, generate more leads, nurture them, and build a trust, but ultimately how you can build your own AI-powered marketing engine that runs 24/7 on 95% autopilot, and without your intervention once it's set up, where you can use this to become less independent on referrals, scale further, and where you own the infrastructure and you don't rent it from an agency that helps you run certain things, because we basically build strategies that are, let's say, more strategically aligned to long-term longevity instead of just chasing shiny things that work right now. So if you want a personal walkthrough how this entire system can be fit together for your company without any sort of obligation to commit further, just to learn and see, okay, if this works for your company, how it would work and what you would expect from it, you can schedule a call. It's nothing else than having a casual chat. But I want to add a disclaimer. This is not a call for everyone. This is not a strategy that works for every type of company. So we will require you to fill out a form or answer several different questions to give us more data. That data is used to figure out if the strategy is fitting your company, both the company type you have, the state and situation you're in, and also what you're trying to achieve. Because implementing all of this for the sake of implementing is just stupid. So we want to use that to gauge if we can wholeheartedly, with integrity, recommend this system and tell you how you should build it and how you should do it on the call with you. If we see, based on your forms and what you submit, that it's not the right fit for you, then we would basically cancel the meeting, and we will send you stuff that would be more fitting for your company type and what you would be benefiting the most from using right now. So that even if you schedule, you're going to go out with value from that. But if you want to take the chance and see if this is right for you, you can just schedule a call. But with that, I hope this was useful. Go down below and sign up for Panda Post and use it. Go wild. It's one of the Christmas presents from us. And with that, I wish you a merry, merry rest of your day. And I also from this point on, a great rest of your December, and ho ho ho, B2B Santa number 2 for this video, checking out.